All right, fam, it's MarshaunOlaniyan. So I was just here not too long ago, and I was talking about why did I get married. And so today I want to talk to you about the phase of adjusting to marriage or adjusting to being married. So again, I'm your life and relationship strategist. I literally, as a result of my clients working with me, they are learning how to love themselves. They are healing from their past dramas, and they are literally becoming their true, authentic self, their best version of themselves. So I'm currently looking for clients who are interested, and they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're sick and tired of jumping from relationship to relationship, and they are ready, literally ready to take that leap to turn their entire dating life around, their entire relationship around, their entire marriage around. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me. My email address is down in the description box. Go ahead and send me an email so we can talk about if we are a good fit to work together. So now, adjusting to being married. First of all, you guys know, cool it. First of all, you guys know that this is my second marriage. I talk about that on purpose because some people may think, like, why should I take advice from her? This is her second marriage. She couldn't even keep her first one. I'll tell you why. Because I've been there and done that. And the first time I got married, I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I never had the tools. I never figured that relationship out. And then I got a divorce. I figured out who I was, figured out what I wanted, figured out what I needed. I took some courses. I got some help. I talked to my ex-boyfriends. And I took all of that in. I started applying all of those things that I learned. And guess what? Now I'm married again. And my husband, my current husband, has the best version of me that anybody will ever get. And he will continue to get the best version of me because I'm continuously evolving. So that is why you should take information from me, because I do have experience. This is not my first relationship. And I'm able to tell you how to get a husband because this is my second one. Okay? So if that is something that you're interested in, I can actually tell you how to get a husband. But now I'm preaching on how to actually keep a husband around, or at least keep a relationship. To me specifically, yes, my husband. But to you, you could be the guy or whatever, right? Whatever your preference, you want to keep your relationship. This is why I preach so much about relationships in general. So now, adjusting to marriage. There are some things that you are going to have to adjust with. So for me in particular, for my story, I was a single woman. Go ahead and watch TV, baby. Go get it. Go get it. Sorry, my baby. I was a single woman before I married my husband. I didn't have any children, so this is our first child together. And literally, I was just like, you know what? You know what you're doing now. You know what? You're able to share this information with those people out there that didn't know what they were doing or still don't know what they're doing. They have questions, and you're able to answer those questions specifically about being married and adjusting to marriage. There are things that you must think about, such as how, let me open it for you, baby. Come here. How men and women think completely different. How it's nothing personal. It's just the way that we were all wired. Here, babe. Here, come take this. It's just the way that we are wired. We're wired completely different, but it's okay. It's all about understanding your spouse. It's all about understanding who you are as the person in the relationship, whether you're the man or the woman. What role are you guys playing? And I'm not necessarily talking about the traditional roles that you think about. I'm talking about, have you guys sat down and actually had the conversation about what is going to be your responsibility in the relationship, and not just assuming? Because so many of us get into the relationships and we start to assume what the other person is going to do, and then when they don't do it, instead of you having a conversation about it, guess what you start to do? You start to yell and scream because you have let this stuff build up in you. And that's usually what happens. It's because you have let this stuff build up in you. Instead of having the conversations as they come up, you decided to say, hey, I'm not going to say anything because he's going to switch it up or she's going to switch it up. And because you never said anything, by the time you do say something, it has happened multiple times, and now you are at a boiling point, which is why it comes out in such an ugly manner, right? So Think about how you guys think differently. Men and women think completely different. Think about the things that you actually say and how you say it, because you are no longer single. You're no longer on your own. You're learning how to become a team. This is all the adjustment portion of it, of marriage. You have to think about how you are actually spending your funds, because even if the money is coming into the household in two separate names, meaning your name and his name and her name, it's still y'all money. Even if it never mixes together, it's still y'all money. The reason why I'm saying it's still y'all money, because y'all still in the household together, because bills still come, right? If there is a big purchase, you are discussing it with your spouse. I'm not talking about, do I want to buy these shoes, or I need some pants, let me go buy these pants. I'm talking about cars. I'm talking about houses. I'm talking about boats, depending on where you at. I'm talking about going out on vacations. I'm talking about gambling all the money away. I'm talking about big things, things that could make or break your relationship, things that can make or break you and your family being out on the street versus inside the home. So think about your money. Don't be selfish with your money. If your spouse needs some help and they were humble enough to come to you and say, hey, baby, I need your help, and you can help them out, why not? Why would you not want to help your spouse out? Why would you not want to see your spouse thrive? Why would you not want to see your spouse move to the next level? See, it's no longer just your money. Most people think, oh, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Yeah, technically it is yours, but it's really not. It's both of y'all's. Yeah, I get it, it's coming in your name. Yeah, I get it, it's coming in your account. Yeah, I get it, you're the one who went out to work for it. I get all of that. But if I can't come to you and you're my spouse, what you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? If I come to you and say, hey, baby, I'm broke, and I can't get $20 from you, and cost of living here in California is way more than that, but let's go with 20. I can't get $20 from you, and you looking upside my head like, what you need $20 for? I just told you I'm broke. If I can't get $20 from you, bruh, what are you here for? And vice versa. If my husband can't come to me and be like, hey, baby, I'm broke. You got $20, $40, $50, whatever it is, right? And I have it, and I'm asking $1 million. Why are you asking your spouse 50 million doggone questions for a few dollars? That makes a person feel unworthy. This is why we have so many issues when it comes to finances in our relationship, because we try to control and make our spouse feel some type of way as if we have the power. Why are you doing that? Even if you do have the power, why are you doing that anyway? That's not sexy. That doesn't make your spouse feel good. That doesn't make your spouse feel... Go get the other one. I know you didn't finish. Go get it. Well, then leave. Go. Go. No, go finish that one first. My daughter interrupting. But if your spouse, if your partner cannot come to you and ask for you for financial help, as well as any type of help, but specifically to this example, I'm talking about finances. So if my spouse can come to me and ask for $20, $30, $40, $50 when they broke, and vice versa, again, what are you here for? That is an adjustment. Relinquishing the control is an adjustment. Trusting your spouse when you couldn't trust nobody is an adjustment. Saying, you know what, I know that he means the best for me. You know what, I know that she means the best for me. This is going to be super hard to relinquish this control. It's going to be super hard to trust, because everybody that I trust, including my mama, my daddy, my siblings, even my friends. Everybody that I put my trust in has let me down. And why am I going to do that to myself again? You know why, sis? You know why, bruh? Because they are not your friends. They are completely different. Completely different from your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your co-workers, your friends. He or she is supposed to be put on a different level than everybody else. And if you did get into a marriage, if you did get into this relationship knowing good and doggone well you couldn't trust your partner, why did you do that to yourself? Why? See, a lot of times we try to put the blame on everybody else on why we're going through the situations that we're going through, when we in fact have put ourselves in that situation, when we in fact have done it to ourselves, when we in fact seen the writing on the wall, but we continue to go in that relationship anyway, when we have seen the writing on the wall, we seen how ugly this person can be, and we said, I do anyway. Why you mad? You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. And that's secretly why you so angry. Because you are mad at yourself. You are mad at the fact that you didn't say, you know what? Nah, this ain't for me. And walk away. Because you was thinking about, oh, it took me this long to find him. It took me this long to find her. How much longer is it going to take me to find somebody else? Might as well deal with their crap. Adjusting to marriage is a big thing. Adjusting to marriage is a fact that so many people the relationship can be made or broken down in the adjusting phases of your marriage. Another thing to think about when you're adjusting is the monotony of the relationship, because so many people think that the marriage and the relationship is always going to be woo, 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 fireworks, fireworks. Y'all having parties all the time and y'all just going and y'all doing good. It ain't like that every day. It's not like that every day. Don't set yourself up for that. The monotony of your relationship and real relationships are the ins and outs in every day that you're doing. You're waking up, you're going to work, you're coming back home, you might have to deal with the kids, then you got to deal with your spouse, you got to find time for yourself. That is what the relationship is all about. Y'all got to find time for quality time and date nights. Y'all got to find time to have fun with each other. Y'all got to have time to sit down and have those tough conversations with one another. Be able to look each other eye to eye and say, you know what? This right here, this particular thing that you have been doing, I despise it. This is why I despise it. And I would truly appreciate it if you worked on this particular thing. Because this is going to keep me around. This is going to keep me happy within this relationship with you. This is going to make me feel like I've been respected while being in this relationship with you. This is going to help me respect you even more as a person. This is going to help me understand you as a person. So you got to do that. Adjusting to marriage, adjusting to the relationship is the day in, the day out, the constant checking in. How often and when is the last time you actually checked in with your spouse to see what you could be doing better? Yeah, those check-ins are not all the time nice. You don't always want to hear what your partner has to say on what you got to work on. But guess what, sis? Guess what, bruh? Your time to talk comes in there too, and you get a chance to tell your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband what they not doing right either. It's a give and take, a give and take, a give and take. But if you're not having the tough conversations, if you're not checking in, if you're not spending quality time with each other, what kind of relationships do you have? Are you literally turning into that couple that sleeps in separate beds? That couple that literally is just a notch above friends with benefits? Most people give up in the adjustment phase because they think it's just too hard, it's too much to take on. And I'm not saying that it's not a lot, it is a lot. But on the other side, when you go through that, on the other side of that is so much bliss. On the other side of that is, damn, I'm glad I did that. On the other side is, I'm able to be super vulnerable with this person. On the other side is, we did that. On the other side is, man, I'm so freaking happy that I was able and am able to be vulnerable and talk about any and everything and be open and honest about any and everything, even when he don't want to hear it, even when she don't want to hear it, even when I don't want to hear it. Because that's the type of relationship that I'm cultivating. The adjusting phase to your marriage needs to be just that. That's the way you need to look at it. You are adjusting to being in one another's space day in and day out. That is what adjusting to marriage looks like. Adjusting and not being selfish and only thinking about yourself. So you have to figure out a way to coexist. Another thing to think about when you're adjusting to marriage is the cleanliness habits that your spouse may or may not have. The snoring that now you got to deal with day in and day out. The sharing of the spaces. Because once upon a time, at least in my own life, it was all me. It was all me, all by myself. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. All the space was mine. I didn't have to share with anybody unless I had visitors. Now I live a completely different life with a husband and a child. It's shared spaces. Going with the shared spaces comes less privacy. Because whenever I'm in the bathroom, especially with the toddler, but even with my husband, they'll just open up the door. And so now my toddler, she's actually able to open up the doors now. So now I can lock the door because I want some privacy. But it's not as much as I used to have. That is an adjustment for sure. This privacy is a lot of what I hear my clients talk about. They're losing the privacy, the loss of privacy. How can they cultivate some more privacy within their marriage, within their relationship? It's all an adjustment, but it's so worth it. If you can go through with it, if you can go through it and get through this stage, because that's all it is, it's a stage. If you can go through it and grow through it, grow through the stage together, grow through the adjusting to being married to one another, you'll be so much happier that you did. You'll be so much more grateful that you stood the test of time of just adjusting to your partner adjusting to you, adjusting to your new lifestyle. And guess what? As soon as you make that adjustment, there's going to be something new that pops up, because that's the way life happens, not just in your marriage, in life period. As soon as you adjust to one thing, something else is going to happen. I remember Pastor T.D. Jakes, he mentioned how just as soon as you adjust to having one child around your household, oops, you went to the doctor. And now you got to start thinking about the second child. Soon as you started getting your schedule down packed and your waking up time and your how long it takes you to get the baby dressed time and how long it takes for you to cook a meal for 3, now you have to adjust to 4. You have to adjust, if you're the primary, getting 2 kids ready instead of 1. Or maybe your partner needs to adjust to helping out more. While you getting one dress, they're getting the other dress. It's always going to be an adjustment within your relationship. Always, always, always. But it's not a bad thing. It could be a very beautiful thing. But this is what marriage looks like. Think about it. Talk to you soon. Deuces.